Good morning, everyone. I'm here early on a Wednesday for a change. Doesn't happen too often. I was going to make one more thing and then I decided, I don't feel like it. So it is what it is for today. I'm Crafty Sue. This is my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as always, I would like to thank my returning subscribers. I appreciate you more than you know coming here on Wednesdays and watching my silly little videos. It means a lot. It means a real lot to me. And for any of you who may be new, welcome. Welcome. Very happy to have you, and I hope you enjoy what I have to say and show. So, let's see. What's happened in the last week? I got older. Yep, my birthday was on Monday. Do I look older? Do I look older? I don't feel any older. Oh gosh. I think of my age now, and I'm 73 and I'm not afraid to say it. I don't know, I don't feel like 73. 73 used to be very, very old. It's not so bad anymore. I mean, it's not young, but it's not like it used to be back when I was a kid. I mean, somebody lived to 73. My goodness, they were ancient. It's not like that anymore, so I'm really happy about that. I had a very, very quiet birthday. A few phone calls, lots of texts. Didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. On Sunday, my son, daughter-in-law, and grandsons came over. And that's when they gave me a birthday cake. So that was nice. I have this cake I love from Publix supermarket. They make really good cakes. And I can never remember the name of it. But it's fruit. It's a vanilla cake, and the filling inside is fruit, and you get raspberries and blackberries and strawberries, and I love, 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 love berries. That's my favorite kind of fruit. I will sit with a little container of blackberries and just go crazy eating them. And strawberries are my favorite fruit. So cake is perfect. So we had cake and ice cream and talked a lot, and my daughter-in-law does markets as well, so of course we talked about that a lot, and it was nice. It was a nice little visit, maybe, I don't know, an hour, a little over an hour they were here, and that was it. Very quiet birthday, very quiet birthday. So on Monday, my oldest son called me. He says, "You don't have a card, you don't have a gift." He's been sick all week long with a really bad cold, sore throat. And he says it was horrible. And he was still coughing. We were FaceTiming, and he was still coughing in the video. So, I've always told them, you don't have to give me anything. Send me a card, though. I love cards. Send me a card. But I understand. I mean, my gosh, he doesn't get sick that often, and I certainly am not going to worry about a birthday card when my big boy is not well. So, like I said, quiet. We were going to go out to dinner, Grumpy and I, on my birthday, but I'm having so much trouble with the car insurance, paying for my medical bills from the first accident over a year ago. Still not paid. It's just a nightmare. And they wanted me to sign this release form, and it just made me so nervous and sick. I sent it to my stepdaughter because she works for attorneys, and she looked it over and had questions about it, and she even showed it to one of the lawyers there, and he had a few questions about it. So this morning, we had left 3 messages for the person at the insurance company who's taking care of my case, I guess. 3 messages for her to call and just explain what some of these things meant in this release. To me, when I read it, it was like I was releasing everybody of any fault and obligation and all of that kind of stuff. And that made me really nervous. I didn't want to sign anything like that. So I didn't sign it. And Terry wrote back and gave her opinions, and the lawyer there had a few little things to say. So this morning, after Bailey did not call us back after 3 phone calls, I said to Grumpy, try now. It's just after 9 o'clock. Try now to call her. Maybe she'll answer because it's so early in the morning. She's just getting going, and she won't recognize your phone number. She may recognize mine, and we don't get along. We do not get along at all. So he did. He called, and sure enough, she answered the phone. So he had questions for her, and he was much more nice to her than I have been, because after 7 months of this, I've had it. Pay the darn bills, get it over with. I don't want any money. I want nothing. I just want the bills paid. So they talked about a few questions that we had and concerns we had, and there was one thing that we felt needed to go in there, and she said she can't adjust it because it's what the company uses all through the country, and the insurance company is Allstate. I'd never use Allstate again after this. Well, not that I used it. It was the guy who hit us, insurance. So anyhow, she explained the stuff to him and was answering our questions. But the minute that I would say something, her tone totally changed. You could tell she did not like me at all. So he asked her to specify a certain thing in writing, send it in an email. Can you put this, since you won't change this form at all, put this in writing and send it to us? And she goes, oh yeah, I can do that, not a problem. So she did, and we got some clarification on me not being liable or them paying the bills, because the way this article read would be that they would give me the money and I would be responsible for paying the bills. I don't want anything to do with it. It's your job, you do it. So she did send us a email stating that she would take care of everything. And she did say she did not think, even though she doesn't have enough money to pay all of the bills, she thinks she can talk whoever the money is owed to, because I've never seen the bills, talk them down to where everything will be paid. So we'll see. I had to sign that paper, which still is upsetting me to this point. But there we go. Fun, fun, fun. It just never ends. I just hope this recent accident is a lot easier. Haven't heard anything from either insurance company yet, so we'll see how this one goes. It's like we're coming out of one and going into the other, so not a good time having to deal with these companies. So needless to say, I have not been a happy person. I have not. And that happened on my birthday and got me very, very upset. So Grumpy and I did not go out. I didn't feel like going out. So he just went out and got some Chinese food, and that's what we had for dinner. Oh, gosh. But I've been crocheting, because that helps a lot. I find that crocheting, since you have to concentrate on the patterns and everything, it keeps my mind off of all of this other garbage that I have to deal with. So I did get some stuff done. Cute, 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 I think. The other day, I ordered some keychains from Amazon, because if you remember the squid keychains I made last week, I think I have one here. Yeah. These little squid keychains, and they have this plastic clip at the top. I like these so much better than the other ones that I had bought, which are the plain silver ones. I find these hard to work with. So I got a whole bunch of these and I don't like them. But there's these little silver doodads and you have to put a jump ring and attach it to the... It's okay. It's okay. But when I made these and I had a couple of these left over, I just liked it so much better. And I could match the color of the clip to whatever little plushie I made. So I put it in order on Amazon. And I got it in yesterday. And holy smokes. Look at that. And they were really inexpensive. Only about, I think it was $6 and change. And it's supposed to be $200 in here. Just for the heck of it later, I may count them to see if they did send me all 600. And see how many of each color I got. Looks like they may just grab a bunch of them and throw them in back. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. So, all of the plushies that I made this week are patterns I already had, except for one. Except for one. I did buy one new pattern, and I'm not so happy I bought it. Because I did not enjoy making this. But I don't know, I think I'll try it again with another yarn. And I'll talk about it once I show it to you. So we'll get on to the plushies. There's really nothing else exciting happening in my life. No accidents, no nothing. I barely go out of the house. Since that's happened, I need to get out of the house. I need to do something. My Joann's closed on Sunday. Very, very sad. Very sad. I didn't go. I figured there would be a ton of people there and I just didn't want to deal with standing in lines. If there was anything that I liked. I have no idea if they restocked anything from the last time I was there. And there was really not much of anything. I showed you last week, I think, the orange and green yarn I bought to make pumpkins for the fall. But that's it. Joann's is over for me. Wow, long time been shopping at that store. I would say over 50 years. When it was just a fabric store and I was making clothes for myself and for my family as well. I even made the flower girl dresses for my wedding back in 1974. So over 50 years ago. Anyhow, let's get on to some plushies. I don't have a whole ton, but I did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 done. That's not bad for me. That's a little over a little over one a day. One a day. So I made my last snake. I wanted to have 5 of them. So this time I did not use the mystical yarn, which I used on all of the others. This time I used the Bernat frosting yarn because I wanted a very light colored snake. So here is my snake. Isn't that pretty? It's just so pretty. This one might turn out to be my favorite one. I just really like how it looked. And I gave them, well, I guess they look pink, but I think they're red eyes, a very deep pink anyhow. So it had a little bit of color, nice and big snake. And of course on Sunday my grandsons were here. Well, they have 14 going on 10. And they were just playing with this and playing with this. And I said, can you not play with that one since it's such a light color? If you really want to play with a snake, I got plenty of them in my, got 4 more in my craft room. Go and get one of those. They're all darker colors. Did they? No. No. They played with this one. But I really like this one. And I really enjoy making these because I don't need a pattern. I could just sit and watch TV and crochet. So very, very easy to do. And this one is a free pattern on Ribbler and works fine for me. I don't need anything fancy. And that's it. I may end up making more just because I like making them. I shouldn't. I should get on with other things that I think I'd want for the fall. If I get into all of the fairs that I'm hoping to get into. We'll see. I have applied to a couple. Now you just sit back and wait. Sit back and wait. And they won't even tell you until the summer, so until July, one of them said. So watching Heather's video, she's shown this several times, little lobster that she makes. And after her last video, I bought it because I'm a New Englander who absolutely hates eating lobster. Ugh. Do not like it. It's a bug. I read that once. that lobsters were an insect. And I was like, no. Nope, not happening for me. I am not eating a bug. Not doing it. I don't like the taste of it anyhow. It's sweet and I don't like it. So anyhow, I made a little lobster. And this is out of Parfait Chunky and the color Cardinal. And when I took this out to make it, this yarn was just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It's that thick, almost sticky kind of yarn that drags on your hook and everything. It was not a pleasure making this little guy, I'll tell you. It was not. And then when I was finished, I always show all my stuff to Grumpy, and I showed it to him, and he said, that looks like a snail. A snail? No, it's not a snail. It's a lobster. And he goes, it doesn't have big claws. And I says, well, it's a baby lobster. Hasn't grown its claws yet. But if I make this again, it definitely will not be with this yarn. Maybe I'll try it with Bernat. I think I have red and Bernat. And make it a little bit bigger. I don't know, I haven't decided. You know when you get something and you're just not crazy about it? I don't know. Heather's always looks so nice. I don't know. I don't know what yarn she uses. She used Parfait Chunky too, because hers was small too. But anyhow, this is Butters the Lobster. And this is by, let me see. I wrote them all down so I could tell you. Butters the Lobster is by the Fox Den Mom Life on Etsy. And of course, as always, I'll put a link in the video below. And then I was thinking about what I have, and I really need to take everything out of the bags and spread it all out over the guest bed so I can see what I have and what things I'd like to do multiples of. Because you always have lots of one-offs. You know, you try it or you test it or whatever, and you just don't. Is it not bright enough in here? I don't know if that'll help. I don't know. Yeah, you do lots of one-offs. Like I said, if you're testing or you just make something once and you don't want to try it again, or it's a bigger item and you don't want to have too many big items because they don't often sell. So I need to do that. I need to just spread everything out and make a list of the things that I want to do several of. And I have absolutely no idea where I was going with that thought. Oh gosh. Oh no, I know. I know. So I started making turtles because I knew I didn't have any little turtles. The ones I usually make, like the blueberry turtles I made for the last market I went to. So I do have blueberry turtle left, and that's it. I don't have any others in that size. So I figured I would make some of those because turtles, sea turtles, tend to be popular. So I probably went a little overboard, but I really love making turtles. It's one of the things I enjoy the most. So I used my All From Jade, is it Tiana pattern? And I love how she has all the different mods for different shells that you can make. So I went through those and started making turtles. So this is the first one I did. Made a sunflower turtle. I thought the colors were appropriate for the fall. Came out so cute. And this is all of them that I made are made with Parfait Chunky yarn. It was a Parfait Chunky week for me. Except for two things. The snake is not Parfait Chunky, and the last item I'll show you is not Parfait Chunky. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? I probably could have put bigger eyes on it, but I wanted yellow eyes to kind of match the flower, and I didn't have any in any other color. I have to start making my own eyes. So that's turtle number 1, my sunflower turtle. I've made this in the past and it's always sold for me, so figured I'd give it a go again. And this is that new goblin yarn, and it's the first time I use it. I've had it for quite a while, but I hadn't used it, and I love it. Is that a beautiful green or what? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so sunflower turtle was the first one. Which one did I make second? This one. So then I was looking through the mods and stuff and decided to do a birthday cake turtle. And this is peach and Parfait Chunky. And this is pom-pom yarn. So it already had all the little flecks of color in there. So I thought this was adorable. It's got pink eye. Not pink eye. That's pink eyes. I think it's so cute. I love making these things. I just love them. This is my happy place in crochet. So, happy birthday to me. A little belated now. And then, this was funny. I went back in to make another turtle, and I saw one I liked. And the fins on this turtle, what she has in her pattern, I don't like. So I make my own fins. I think she eventually changed it in her pattern to fins like the ones that I have here. I'm not positive, but I seem to remember hearing something about that a while ago. But I got started and make the fins first because I don't need a pattern for that, and then the head. But then I made a mint chocolate chip turtle. How cute is this? Well, guess what? The mint chocolate chip shell is not with that Tiana pattern. It's with her land turtle pattern. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I was so mad at myself. So what are you doing? But it was easy enough to adapt it to this one. I mean, they're pretty much the same except the legs are different. So I like that. And I love this trim. Love, love, love this trim on these turtles. I put some little chocolate chips on it, and I think it's so cute. First time I do this one. So what do you think? Cute. Cute, cute. And then I wanted to do one more, so I would have 5, counting the blueberry one I already have made. And so I said to Grumpy, I said, do you want to pick a turtle? And he said, sure. What do I do? And I showed him all the different mods for Jade's turtles. I ain't crazy about this. I ain't crazy about it. It's pretty, but I don't think people will know what it is, where you can look at the others and kind of, you know, sunflower, mint chocolate chip, and birthday cake. I think it'll be pretty easy to see. But he picked this. Now, this is called Sunset. Sunset. And it's pretty. He said, well, you didn't have any purple turtles. Okay. Whatever reason. And I wasn't nuts about doing all the color changes. But I think it's pretty anyhow. And maybe somebody will really like it. I made the rainbow turtle a while back. And it's got all pastel colors and rainbow colors. And that one sold. So who knows? Someone may love this little turtle. So that's it. That's all the turtles I made. I made 4. I could have just kept going through all of them and making one of each. That's how much I enjoyed that. And it is a big stress reliever for me. So all from Jade. And like I said, I will put the link in the description below. And then I was looking through my stuff and trying not to buy more patterns because I have so many and I want to make duplicates of each. And I don't think having 100 different things on your table is the best thing in the world. There is one thing I want to buy because it never fails. Somebody asks me if I have a sloth, and I don't have a sloth pattern. So I will go in search of one of those. If you have a favorite sloth pattern, let me know. And I will make a couple of those and see how that goes. But I've never done that. But I have had several people ask me for sloths. But I didn't go buy one yet. So what I did do is one of these hanging baskets of flowers. And this is violets. My favorite flower, my very favorite flower. I had made one of these a while back and it sold. So I thought I'd make another one. It reminds me of my boys because one Mother's Day or birthday, I don't remember. Mother's Day, birthday, they're in the same week. So when we were living out in the country in Rhode Island, we were in the woods, and in the woods behind us, there were tons of wild violets, And for one of those holidays, Mother's Day or birthday, they had gone out into the woods and dug up a whole bunch of violet plants. And they brought them back and planted them in my rose garden, which was on the side of the house. They were so proud of themselves. They were fairly young when they did this. So on that day, they said, come on, Mom, I've got a present for you outside. So I went out and there was my beautiful rose garden full of violets. They were so proud. You see these 3 little boys sitting there, you know, just so proud. I was so happy. I think I cried. I think I cried because they knew this was my favorite pattern. Favorite flower. Unbeknownst to them and me, violets spread. And next thing I knew, my front lawn was full of violets. They were everywhere. They were everywhere. But I still love them, and they'll always be my favorite flower. I don't know why, but I just love them. I loved walking through the woods and seeing them and lady slippers and other flowers that grow wild in the woods that just So pretty, so pretty. So I made this one, and this is by Rosalie Toys. And this comes with 4 different flowers that you can make. You got a sunflower, dahlia, the violets, and one she just calls white flower. So I may try to make the others and make the whole set, because all I've ever done is make the violets. But that's my violets. Pretty, pretty. And you can, this is not very long. It's definitely not for the car. It's much too big. So it's to hang in a room someplace. So I like it. I like it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. It's a repeat. I did it a while ago. But now I gotta make the others now that I have another violet. So we're down to the last one. My biggest one I made this week. I just finished him up last night. And this too, I was looking through my patterns and I've never made him. Never made this one. And I thought, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. It's a frog. It's a big frog. It's a big frog. Look at him. He's so big. His name is Herbert. No, Herbert, something like that. And he's by Unraveled and Unwound. And if I can find the pattern link, I will put it below. But he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Now, once you make the frog, and this was made with Sweet Snuggles, I think. Yeah, Sweet Snuggles, agave, the color. And then the pants are made out of acrylic. Let's see. Just a little acrylic. And I didn't expect them to be this big. I'll tell you. I almost quit making them because the first thing you do would make these toes, and you have to make each one of these toes separately. I hate doing that. So I had to make 12 toes for the arms and legs. And then you just crochet up from that to do the rest of the arm and leg. Didn't like that. Did that the first night and said, I quit. I quit. But then I got up the next morning and I said, well, the body might be a lot easier. And it was. It took me no time to do the body. Didn't take long at all to do the head. I thought there would be issues with the eyes, but nope. You crochet these separately, add the eyes, then you crochet it in to the head as you go. So that was easy enough. Not a problem. Then this is supposed to be his lip. I may have gone a little overboard on that, but that's okay. That's okay. I took it apart once already. I don't want to take it apart again, but if I decide to, I can. Because now it's looking a little crooked. I really need to turn my big lamp on when I'm crocheting so I can see better. But he's a big boy. He sits perfectly. Now, the biggest problem that I found with this was making his clothes. I was excited to make his little pants, but pattern's not right. It's just not right. I was crocheting it and it takes so long because it's with acrylic with a 3.25 hook. It was taking so long. And as I'm doing it, I'm going, this is not right. It's way too big. So I got him and I put him in the pants. These are supposed to be long, but I put a little cuff on it because then you wouldn't even see his legs. So yeah, it was way, way too big. I mean, it stuck out. The pants were probably out to here somewhere. I said, this is so wrong. So I started doing decreases until it fit his body better. And I don't think it really shows that this is probably a bit big here. if I decided to do him again, I would have to adjust the whole pattern for his pants because it was just way too big, way too big. And you wouldn't think, right? Here it is with Michael's Sweet Snuggles, thicker yarn, and here you are with acrylic, so thin. Yeah, in the back. In the back, I decided they don't have the straps crisscrossed, but I like it, so I crisscrossed the straps. And then I went looking in my never-ending bucket of vintage buttons and found these that I thought were perfect to put on his overalls. So I sewed those on, and this has a little hole in here that you just put around the button, which is perfect. See, easy peasy, easy peasy. So now I'm liking him a lot more than I did, and I dropped his hat. And the last thing you do is crochet his hat. And he's supposed to be holding it in his hand. Well, when I say the sizes on the clothing for him is wrong, I'm not even kidding. Because look at this hat. It's huge. If I put this here for him to hold, it just looks so silly. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. What I did last night while he was sitting on my coffee table where I crochet, I just stuck it on his head and almost made it like a little country hat like that. And I thought, well, that don't look too bad. So I haven't decided if I'm going to tack this on and have him have a little hat on. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Maybe a little forward. It's a little hard because of his eyes. So it has to be folded to fit between his eyes. But it adds a little something to the back too. Because taking this and putting it in his hand to hold is just too big, I think. Doesn't it look kind of silly? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't mind if you say I'm wrong. Do you like him holding it? Or do you like it better sitting on his little head? I don't know. Or maybe not even put it at all. So anyhow, like I said, if I decide to make him again, I know what changes I have to make. And it's all with the clothes. It's with the overalls and the hat. They're just way too big in that pattern, using worsted weight yarn and a 3.5 hook. Way too, so have to cut down that pattern quite a bit. Like I ended up having to do with the pants because they were just way too big. And that's it. That's my last guy, but I really like him. And he sits really nicely. Ah, you bear. Cute. I think he's adorable. That's all I have for you. That's all I have. So opinions, please. It helps me decide. Helps me decide when I'm kind of stuck and not sure what I want to do with something. So anyhow, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And until, well, I am doing videos on Saturday this month because I have that card challenge going on my paper crafter side. But I am amazed how many of you crocheters have been sending me birthday cards. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope to fill my wall. See, the top is already filled. And I love that. They're going to start coming down the sides now because I've gotten quite a few to show on Saturday. And something I love. But if you just want crochet, we'll be back next Wednesday. So until next time, keep crocheting. Bye.